The last recording, I couldn't remember all of the odd similarities between this and V3. Two more that I forgot at the time were, in this game, the mastermind, quote-unquote, is among the characters that are introduced at the beginning. In Trigger Happy Havoc and Goodbye Despair, the mastermind is introduced as a new character when they're finally introduced. Now, that character's name had been dropped before in Trigger Happy Havoc, and somebody had cosplayed, ironically, as that character earlier. So it's not like everything about the character is new, but you had not seen the character herself in the flesh yet. And what her exact appearance was. And this character had not participated with the other characters in the Killing Game. Same thing in Goodbye Despair, the mastermind behind the Killing Game is an AI. That character's not participating with the other characters in the Killing Game. As well as, you could argue that the characters from Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc, that reoccur also can be the mastermind of Goodbye Despair in the sense that they actually put the characters of Goodbye Despair in their situation. They just expected the situation to not be as it was. The situation had a twist to it, but they put them in it, not anticipating that twist. They are partly mastermind. They are introduced as new characters to that game. In the end, they do not participate in the Killing Game with the characters that are in the Killing Game. Whereas in V3, there actually is a staff member of the organization that is orchestrating the Killing Game that is actually participating with the other characters in the Killing Game. It is not clear how well said character is protected from getting murdered. You presume there is something protecting her from getting murdered, but it's not really discussed that much. In this game it is. In SDRA it is, and Akane basically says that because of Utsuru's heavenly fortune, which is a extreme version of a super high school level or any level talent of luck, he would be able to make it through without dying. This is part of his talent. With Tsumugi not really discussed. It's unclear how Tsumugi would avoid getting killed. Maybe she just wouldn't. This is a risk she has to take. As part of her job. So it's a way that this game's like V3 that the other games are not. The last one is a minor one, and that is in V3 there's a character in Chapter 5 that dies before they are executed. You could say, well, they died during the execution before the part in the execution that was supposed to cause the death. It is what it is, right? Similarly, in Chapter 5 of this game, the character to be executed dies before the execution, this time literally before the execution even starts, such that Monokuma literally puts a dead body into the execution. So those are the two similarities I forgot. And you can combine those with the ones I previously said, which are the whole fake personalities thing, although quite a bit different in concept, that they're being made. I don't know her name now, it's Karumi. The whole only 3 survivors, and so on. Now, the casino being the worst one. I also like to bring up, forgot to mention this last time, both the Google Translate of what Monokuma says to Kisaragi when he's in the cage, at the end of, I don't know, Chapter 2, as well as Zephram's translation. Monokuma seems to say something like, "Your body does not age." However, this does not, we finally are introduced to Kisaragi, and this doesn't really manifest itself in any way in the story. there's nothing to do with Kisaragi's body not aging. And nothing like that would have anything to do with the role he plays. So maybe that's something that Lee Nuge, I'll get to that later, something that made sense. I'm gonna hit escape here. Yeah, Lee Nuge. Had some idea about and decided to set up when he wrote that chapter, but then later on forgot about it or just didn't decide to scrap that idea. I don't know, just kind of a loose thread there. Yeah. So, what I just mentioned there was, throughout this entire Let's Play, from the very beginning, I have been pronouncing the screen name of the developer of this game. You probably had a team, but like the one person. I actually don't know if it's a he or a her. I'm like guessing it's a he, or using he as kind of like a gender neutral default. But it might be a her. I haven't researched enough to know. So, but it's not Linju, it's Linuj. It's always been that. I've just looked at those and transposed the U and the J in my mind. Kind of like if I had dyslexia. In fact, by this point, in this many Let's Plays I've done, with mixing up Tsumugi and Tsugumi and stuff, you probably would think that I have dyslexia. And I will say, I don't have it to the severity where I could get diagnosed. I have an uncle that apparently does, but, as a perfectly fine chemical engineer, despite that. But not me. But maybe I have it more than, other people, the average person, maybe. Might be above average when it comes to dyslexia. I just not like enough, not nearly enough that way to you know, some sort of psychiatrist would tell me that. But yes, it's Linuj, not Linju. I will say that Linju sounds better. I just insulted his screen name. Should have been Linju. So that's maybe why I picked it, but not really picked it, so to speak. Okay, we're going to go into the back half of the Chapter 5 trial, where the character of Mikako kind of goes nuts, kind of gets explored a lot. I tell you about Mikako a lot, so this might be boring, reiterating myself, but my understanding of Mikako is that she's designed to be very smart, right? In fact, in this case, she essentially what we just saw at the end of the previous recording was her playing a trick on Rei Mikaru. She gives, and she'd be able to think ahead and be able to like predict how Mikaru would react given her personality and reasoning style, right? She gives a notebook with the door password to the records room to Yuki during the investigation, seemingly knowing and intentionally doing so, knowing that Mikaru would think that would be very suspicious of Yuki if he happened to know the door password, right? She anticipated Yuki doing, oh, he's presented this piece of evidence, and this shows that someone could have taken a body to the records room on the cart because they would have been able to take the password to the records room off of the body of Kisaragi. And then Rei would go, oh, but you know the password? Oh, you could have done it. Right? And think that he's acting like, you know, he's revealing a piece of evidence as he found to cover it up. Right? And trying to be all smart and play his role in trying to determine how the crime was committed is just part of a way to make himself look innocent. She knew Mikaru would think like that. And it worked. So in a sense, Mikaru's supposed to be the smartest character, but Kurukawa just outsmarted her right just then, right? Also, she tends to have good ideas. Like, well, we can't figure out who the culprit could have been, but let's say there is a culprit who didn't have an alibi. Like a culprit that wasn't constrained by this alibi business and could move freely, how would they have done it? Yuki takes that idea from Kurokawa. Maybe Kurokawa would know that as well. But she's kind of a point person. Like, when you get stuck in the trial, she says things like that to help you get through. And there's a couple other examples, but I forgot them at the moment. She's also the person who first says wrong time of death in the dialogue before Yuki does. In the dialogue where you figure out the AM PM trick in chapter 3. So although I'm gonna find out later, she also was like, I know for absolute certainty there's gotta be something in this blank room where there's no features, right? And where she was standing in the room at the time was very near to where you actually find the way out in that room that Kisaragi would later tell you about at the very, very end of the game, right? So she kind of like is always like, she's actually more of a power character than Mikaru, but because of this speech impediment, she isn't able to show it. Right, there's always this problem in writing a Danganronpa story where you have these power characters. You have to figure out ways to have these power characters, but not have them just give away the answer immediately, right? You have to write something in that handicaps them in some other weird way. And Mikaru would need a really severe handicap in order to hide the power character nature. Of course, it's also meant to make you use anime crush on Mikako, and it's also supposed to be tragic. Right, the speech impediment is supposed to be like this, poor Mikako kind of thing. So I guess the idea is she's really, really, really smart. However, she has this other personality characteristic, along with just being really smart, that plays into this, and that she's a very lenient or soft forgiver. Right, it's a Jordan Peterson quote from something where the world, the society is this balance between hard punishers and soft forgivers or whatever. She's the extreme soft forgiver, where you can't really have blown it with Kurokawa. No matter how bad you are, she'll figure out some way to redeem you, right? And this kind of goes along with, it's like infinite well of niceness, right? Like, she'll like try to she'll like find the goodness in Ted Bundy, and try to convert him or something, just that kind of character. And this goes along with her super high school level talent, right? Because she's the super high school level exorcist. It's kind of unclear what that means exactly, but it's kind of like someone has like some sort of insanity, some sort of problem with their head. The idea that that's not your fault, and we can just cast the demon out of you, and once the demon is left, you will be cured, right? It's kind of, it's related to the idea that anybody can be helped. And that's kind of what her job is to try, would be, we don't really get to hear her talk about her past in the job. But what it would be like messing with, like, talking to really bad people, potentially, really insane people, and trying to help them out not be as insane. That's really what an exorcist does. And what's weird about her super high school level talent is that she's the adopted brother of Kisaragi in their inventor family. And that's what's weird. It's like she does that, and she's part of that family. Anyway, it's hard to wrap your head around. But anyway, her personality matches her talent and so on. But she's so much like this, it's like to a fault, where like she doesn't want Kisaragi to like arrest, I don't know if you can arrest, like do something like arrest, not a police officer, but like somehow bind up Yuki and Akane, or Utsuru and Akane, because he's very suspicious that they are working with Junko and they're going to pull some trap on them, right? He's like, I believe in them, which is foolish. I mean, she could believe in them. But she, like, it's not only does she recognize the good and try to find the good in someone, even regardless of how bad they are, she also tends to, like, believe people are good despite the evidence to a fault. And you see this after Utsuru and Akane lose their memories. You see her generally being rather nice to Yuki, even though she remembers what Yuki had done, right? And she's being very nice to Akane, despite she remembering what Akane had done. It's like she notices that Utsuru and Akane have lost their memories, truly believes they are not acting, and have truly lost their memories. And I think she can take advantage of that to, like, what would you call, re-hope them. There's some word I'm looking for. It's like a liberal view of what prison is supposed to be. Rehabilitate? Yeah, she thinks she can, like, rehabilitate them or something. That's not the right word. But anyway, she does seem to show a little bit of animosity towards Yuki in, chapter 4, chapter 5, maybe. She starts getting a little bit distant, but she's generally pretty nice, which is very, because she can take advantage of that. But when you finally get to the chapter 5 trial, right? I think it seems that she finally breaks, because the mastermind, the situation that the mastermind created, involved this AI Monokuma who killed Kisaragi. And when Kisaragi gets killed, that would tip her over the edge. Right? And she knows Yuki's behind all this, and it seems to be that even Kurokawa at that point has reached her limit, and is now ready to just take it all out on Yuki. And that's why she chooses Yuki to try to pin her crime on. And because she didn't actually feel like, they try to make this, Akane tries to make this argument that she put the bomb in Kisaragi's chest, therefore, she's somehow responsible. She wouldn't think she's responsible for Kisaragi's death. And so, maybe there's some chance, like in Trigger Happy Havoc, because there is no real right answer, Monokuma would go along with whatever right answer that they voted for, like a Trigger Happy Havoc, and execute Yuki. Like, it's like his last ditch, maybe that would work. And he's the person that should have executed because he's the person who's ultimately responsible for the death of Kisaragi. Right? That's how I'm interpreting how this case goes. So she starts going kind of insane. We'll see this coming up. And starts trying really hard to pin it on Yuki. And what's really odd about this is what I thought her speech impediment was. It would give her super high blood pressure, which could potentially make her bleed out and die, if she tried to say stuff that the memory white machine tried to erase her memories of. Right? She didn't actually lose those memories because the whatever backup thing that Kisaragi and her used worked. But if that she tried to speak those memories, it would kill her, essentially. And as she tried, it would make her blood pressure really high. Second thing, though, that if she showed a lot of emotion, her blood pressure would also rise. Although not quite as much. And so, both of those things. And so, in order to keep herself, alive, she had to try to be just extremely stoic and not discuss the things that the machine tried to wipe her memories of. However, she loses her stoicism right here and displays a lot of emotion, seemingly, and manages to not die right in the next few preceding lines of dialogue in this trial. And so that suggests that maybe it wasn't really, maybe it was not interpreted quite right. It wasn't intense emotion. It was like showing that she knew Kisaragi was something that is like part of the memories that we're supposed to be wiped. Like, you weren't supposed to know who Kisaragi was, and so maybe that's why her reacting to Kisaragi and trying to talk to Kisaragi and saying, like, Kisaragi, what happened to you, and so on, gave her such reactions. I don't know. We're gonna play it. I really, as you know, I really like this character. Really well done. But we're gonna play it, and of course, this is like a really dark, hard game. The entire end of this game is super dark, because unlike Kyoko, who manages to survive this and actually pin it on the protagonist, although she doesn't really pin it so hard on the protagonist in the game of Trigger Happy Havoc. Byakuya is the one who does that, but she defends herself sufficiently that the protagonist becomes like the only other good choice, and she just kind of like lets it happen. They did make this anime adaptation of Trigger Happy Havoc where she does like aggressively try to pin it on Makoto. I don't know if I like that as well. I don't know. But it doesn't work for her. She ends up dying. So it's kind of like if the bad ending of Trigger Happy Havoc was canon. And because I don't know what you call it, an anime crush. My anime crush on Mikako is stronger than that on Kyoko. Oh, Kyoko's pretty bad too. It's like worse. That makes it even worse on top of that. That's something I suspected this might be similar to her Happy Havoc, that maybe Kyoko and, not Kyoko, Kurokawa had extra memories taken from her, like Kyoko did. But it turns out that no, she had less memories taken from her, if any at all. That's the difference. It's actually different. It's like the opposite. Okay, let's play this tragicness. That was a lot smoother than the beginning of the previous part. I don't know what happened to I don't know why I was so mumbly and stumbly at the beginning of part 29 or whatever was the previous part. But anyway. So according to my notes, for chapter 5, let's see here. What's up with my notes? Why did I mess them up? I have chapter 4 notes on top of the stack. Chapter 3 notes. Chapter 6 notes. Yeah, chapter 5 notes. Rec room, door. Yeah, so according to my notes, I have two things to do. But my notes are so vague. Hers is a non-stop debate, and what my notes said were, I don't know, but shot and absorbed and stuff. That's what I wrote. So, I literally only have one heart left to do this. And then after that, I have a rebuttal showdown where I wrote trivial. One bullet, one option. I hope I'm right about that. Nega, which means I. We need to get a text extractor working though. Attached to game. Attached to RPG-RT. Okay. Well, let's go to the next line. Now, can I... Guess I can get the text out. I am the culprit? Question. How dare you say that? Yeah, and Akane comes to your aid because, you know, Akane. That's what she's supposed to do? Eh? Why are you talking like that all of a sudden? He can feel it. He can feel the mastermindness. To be honest, I've been suspicious of that guy since the incident happened. However, because of the alibi for the case itself was so poor, or I presume it means, like, so made the possibility so poor. I don't want to, like, bother pasting this to Google Translate just for this. It could not be confirmed. Maeda, even so, the password was harsh. Let's see what that's supposed to kind of mean. Let's see, Maeda, comma, and then Amori, keep splitting. No matter what, the password was harsh. So don't need harsh, it probably means like aggressive, right? Like, or important, or meant a lot. You've dug your own grave. And no, wait, why do you doubt me? I didn't do anything. If you don't know, I'll tell you. The thing we were most troubled about is the alibi. In the alibis were the whereabouts of Mikako Kurokawa. Mikako Kurokawa went to investigate the floor before Kisaragi Yamato left the restaurant. That's what Maeda said. But, except for Maeda, the rest of us have no idea that Kurokawa Mikako was and what she was doing. Question mark. Huh? That means Maeda-kun lied? What are you talking about? There is no evidence. If you are the culprit, you can manipulate Mikako Kurokawa's whereabouts to your liking. For example, he may have lured Yamato Kisaragi to the floor by falsely claiming that she had gone there. The real Mikako Kurokawa may have been captured somewhere else. What do I do that? And what was the benefit? Why would I do that? What would the benefit be? Then what is the notebook with the password written in it? I don't think it's too exquisite because I gotta break this up. Okay. Kurokawa Mikako. And then put a question mark to break the sentence up. And then break the sentence up again. You got it from Mikako Kurokawa, question mark? I don't think it's too exquisite. Don't you think that's too exquisite? There you go. If she handed it over to you for the investigation, why didn't you tell us anything? That's just a fact I didn't know. If you have doubts, just ask Kurokawa. Oh, you don't know. She's not on your side, man. Mikako-chan, is it true? Are you avoiding someone's eyes? Kurokawa? Besides, there's something else I'm suspicious of you for. When we all chased Kisaragi to the floor, you were the last to arrive. Oh, that's just gameplay mechanics. In other words, even if we had been together the whole time, you would have had no alibi for a brief moment when you arrived on the floor last. Yes, to give a simple example, it would be possible to go into Mikako Kurokawa's private room in the dormitory, set up the sheets in the ballroom, leave the door open, etc. The whereabouts of the key will need to be discussed further. Now, wait a minute. But doesn't it not strange that the sheets were hung in the ballroom at the time? By the time we got to the floor, the incident had already happened. I get the point. Obviously, it didn't make sense, but I get the point of what she was trying to say. It's not strange at all. If you knew the password, there's no need to enter the records room through the ballroom. so to speak, the bedsheets in the ballroom were for camouflage, but they also worked. They worked in getting you to the records room. I think he was planning to increase suspicion towards Mikako Kurokawa by saying that he received the password from Mikako Kurokawa. If you do this out loud, it'll actually have the opposite effect. Wouldn't it have the opposite effect? No, why do you think I'm the culprit? I don't know anything about the password. I really got it from Kurokawa. And as Makaru said, even if I went to the ballroom or left the door open and I didn't have an alibi for a brief moment, it's impossible for me to commit the crime. Because when you arrived at the floor, the incident had already occurred. Makaru, Maeda is right. Even if you prepare the crime alone, the person who takes the life is the blackened or something. Atano took advantage of that and became the blackened instead of Taira, right? Even after all preparations, the person who dies, the person who kills the blackened? Oh, Tora, you said it well. That could be the reason why Maeda is suspicious. Another reason why Maeda is suspicious. What do you mean? To put it simply, there may be an accomplice. Maeda, who personally took Kisaragi's life, prepared the crime with his accomplice Mikako Kurokawa. If you do this, the contradictions in this case will also be explained. What the heck? Kurokawa is an accomplice? That can't be possible. There's no reason for me or Kurokawa to kill. And even though Kurokawa can act as an accomplice, it is impossible for me to deal the final blow to Kisaragi. That's right, I don't even know what the weapon is in the first place. Well, there's no law that says you have to be there to stop breathing. Was Yuhara in the science room when he killed Inori? A remote murder? Even if you look at Kisaragi Yamato's body, it doesn't have ordinary wounds. The weapon that is powerful enough to burn a huge hole in the chest must be a bomb type. And bombs are relatively ideal weapons for remote killing. There's no reason for the criminal to encounter the victim. Well, that just set that up, somehow. Oh no, Maeda-kun is the culprit? But I don't think there's any contradiction in Mikaru's words. How did this happen? Am I being accused of being a criminal? How did something happen like this? Why is Kurokawa keeping her mouth shut in the first place? Because she showed me the password. Either way, I am not a criminal. If you vote for me, that I am the criminal, everyone will die because you got the wrong answer. Kurokawa may not be sure of that, though. For everyone's sake, I must desperately prove my innocence. Oh, this might be Rec Room Door on Teruya's 12th line. Okay. Let's, Oh, I got all my hearts left back because the intermission. Okay, so is it this? I hope so. Okay, one more. You ready? Okay. Perfect score. Because I knew the answer. Wait, that's impossible. It doesn't make sense to go into the record room and commit a crime. What are you talking about? If you knew the password, there's no way you couldn't get in. Two people have to go. Two people can't go in at the same time. Now, there's one thing you guys don't know about the archives. The records room cannot be opened simply by knowing the password. Then, this is something I learned when the floor was opened after Iranami's execution. There are some rules regarding entering and exiting the records room. You can only enter the records room alone. It won't open when someone is in there. If two people enter at the same time, a bulkhead comes down. Unless you follow these rules, the door will not open, even if you enter the password correctly. What is this? I don't know these rules. You're not lying again, Maeda. No, this is a fact I heard with Mikaru when we first investigated the floor. Mikaru, you won't say you forgot. Ooh. What Maeda said is true. I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but it is a fact that Monokuma acknowledged, so it's probably true. As long as this rule exists, it's impossible for Kurokawa to act as an accomplice. No, it's impossible for anyone other than Kurokawa. Probably no one including Kurokawa. As long as Kisaragi is in the records room, it is impossible to enter or leave the records room. Yeah, I guess that's right. Maeda can't be the culprit. But Kisaragi was dead, though. Just because you can't enter from the front door of the records room doesn't mean the possibility of committing the crime has disappeared. You may have entered through the ballroom in the first place. You just can't get in when someone's inside. It's not a good idea to do the groundwork first and then put Kisaragi in later, or something like that. Probably is it not a good idea? Yeah, that's... No, it becomes not much of a hassle. The chances become lower. Before we can finish the work, he will be discovered by those who came up to the floor. I guess so, because it didn't take that long for us to get to the fifth floor. Well then, the reasoning I just did was all nonsense. In the first place, I was confused because it was so unexpected that I am the culprit and Kurokawa was an accomplice. There is no benefit to being an accomplice, and there is no reason for me to commit murder. What are you talking about, Maeda? The charges against you have not been cleared yet. What? I'm sure I heard of the records room, whatever. But I think you left out one important thing. You don't remember? When explaining the records room, Monokuma said it clearly. It checks the heart rate of the people inside to restrict entry. Yeah, that's right. What are you talking about? The condition the door does not open is because someone is inside. That does not apply if the person inside is a corpse. It's not about distinguishing whether what's inside is a human. Because it distinguishes whether a person has a beating heart or not. That means, yeah, you can just put him right in. Kisaragi, who was already dead, was in the records room? Yeah, I was in the cart, passed by the cart, all the way dead. Might already described that to you. They say that if you know the password, you can go in and out by yourself. That's... Am I right, Monokuma? That's right, if the person inside is dead, or someone whose heart can be intentionally stopped, then in theory, more than one person can enter the records room. If you can call the dead person a person. You say? Do you have something to refute, Yuki Maeda? I was skeptical at first, but if the evidence supports this much, it can only be said that Maeda is the culprit. Is it a lie, Maeda-kun? Maeda-kun? You committed the murder? No, wait a minute. No, I'm really innocent. Makaru, think again. Do I look like a person who would kill? In fact, you are a person who would kill. That's the funny thing. Look at me straight in the eyes and talk to me. Mind, to be honest, there are still many things that remain questionable to me, and I am not convinced. But there is no answer other than this reasoning. Since your life is at stake, you can't let petty emotions get involved. At first I thought Kurokawa was the culprit, but that doesn't explain the actions of leaving evidence with one's own hands. That can't be possible. No. That's not it. That's... Kurokawa? Kurokawa! Don't just sit still. Tell me something! You too are being framed as an accomplice. Now you have no choice but to prove my innocence, or you prove your innocence. You guys don't think it's strange either? So usually don't talk much, but in this class trial, strangely enough, Kurokawa doesn't say anything. It's more like, even more strange, she doesn't say anything at all. She usually doesn't say much, but in this trial, she's really not saying anything. There's something strange about not saying a word, even when you're being framed as an accomplice. Well, I admit that. Forgot when this goes off. Are we ready to go? Kurokawa, please, please. If things continue like this, everyone will die. I'm not a criminal, and you're not an accomplice either. Please tell me something. Prepare to meet your doom. Kurokawa? I think it's over now, Maeda. I'll have to break that up because it's two sentences and Google Translate is treating it like one. Yeah, here we go. Stop it now, Maeda. I think it's all over. Yeah, somehow she's able to, like, do this without setting off her, like, her speech impediment, high blood pressure restriction. I don't know how that's supposed to work. It might just be because it's just a requirement, right? In every Danganronpa trial, there has to be a breakdown of some sort. And so they have to have Kurokawa break down, even if it doesn't make lore mechanics sense. We were talking about Mikako-chan. I'm sorry for staying silent the whole time, but I cannot deceive you anymore. I'll tell you the whole truth now. Kurokawa? Your mood is something. As you have guessed, I am an accomplice who helped Maeda commit murder. What? Kurokawa? What are you talking about? Maeda told me not to say anything, but there seems to be no way to escape anymore. Wait a minute. He told you not to say anything? And it's not as slow as usual? What does that mean? What kind of wind suddenly happened? I don't know what to say because it's unfair to me, but I'm the one of the victims. Maeda did something terrible to me. He threatened me. She always says this, but it's like with what? Right? If she helps him commit the murder, and he gets away with it, then she dies. What worse thing could he threaten her with? Right? Like, it's like, you're helping me kill you. Or I'll kill you. What? Now, you could say, well, Kurokawa knows things that Utsuru could do that the other people don't know. But she's still trying to make a convincing argument to them. So, I don't know how this would work. And, and if she, like, rats him out, well, then how is he's supposed to carry out his threats that he made? Because he gets executed. So, it's not very convincing of a coup or call. He threatened me. How would he threaten her? Doesn't make sense. You theoretically can, like, threaten to torture her or something. Something worse than death. I don't know. Maybe that could work. I had no choice but to do as Maeda told me. Moo. What are you talking about? Musen Sarir. That's ridiculous. Maeda-kun? A threat? Maeda-kun, what the hell? Wait, that is, maybe there's some implication here that's kind of like, you know. Anyway. You were threatened by Yuki Maeda, so you had no choice but to help commit the crime. On top of that, you were accused of the crime and were taken advantage of. However, after our reasoning, when Maeda-kun was cornered and seemed like there was no chance of winning anymore, you thought of betraying Yuki Maeda and telling the whole truth? Question. Yes. If Maeda loses the trial, I will live, and Maeda will be executed. If that's the case, it's okay. Even if the weakness is caught. Yeah, this says weakness is caught. I don't know what that means, though. Yeah, but then why would anybody think that Yuki would think a threat would work? How is this, like, situation convincing? That's the thing I don't get about this. Then why didn't you reveal it from the beginning? I was scared. A terrible fear was imprinted by Maeda. My mouth didn't drop. I don't know what that would be. I don't know how that would work. It's so vague, right? You have to think of what that threat was. Maybe by, like, not specifying it, she's, like, making you use your imagination to think of some really horrible things. However, at the time of the incident, I was framed as the criminal according to Maeda's plan. Even if I claimed that, I didn't think they would believe me. You would believe me. Well, that's definitely true. In that situation, even if you claimed that someone else is the culprit, your suspicion would only increase. Now, my disappointment with Maeda is so great that I don't even have the energy to talk about it anymore. Except I just did. Let's just get this over with. It's voting time. Wait a minute. Something is wrong. Mikaku-chan is also strange, and the whole situation is strange. If we think about it again, can we talk more? This is where we play as Akane. Oh, this is where we just kind of like fail. We just shoot it. We just like chuck this. Wait. Yeah, do we absorb something? Okay, we lost a energy that we have infinite amount of. What does this absorb? X? I thought X was absorb. Shift, control. Is it Z? Z absorb? Oh, what absorbs? Yeah, okay, you keep hitting things until you fail, but until that happens. Wait a minute, my Anakin is not the criminal. How long will be so stubborn? It's not us who will give you the answer, it's evidence based on reasoning. I don't know what us means, but okay. The evidence shows the answer. No. Did you do that? As my Anakin had planted something like a bomb and inflicted the final blow. But it is impossible for Anakin to install something. Why? My Anakin installed something. It must have been done the day before the incident occurred. However, the day before the incident occurred, I was on the floor from morning until late at night, searching every room as hard as I could. I mean the 5th floor. What are you saying? Don't lie. No, it is 100% trustworthy. It is a credible story. I also testified that I saw Tyra on the floor for a long time the other day, and that when the keen investigation incident occurred, she came late to her private room alone, that she had been on the 5th floor all day. Whatever, she's basically... Kurokawa is basically... Not Kurokawa. Mikaru is just basically saying Akane's telling the truth. I can confirm. However, until I finished the investigation and came down, no one came to the floor, and there are no signs of anything being installed. In other words, no one, including my Anakin, did anything on the floor the previous day. Yes, you could have somehow missed it or acted like you were away for a moment. No. Of course, I know that my research skills are terrible. However, it is possible to distinguish between weapons that can make a person's chest such a mess. Of course, it was my fault for ignoring it, even though I knew that you desperately searched the floor yesterday, or 5th floor. It's a pity that I can't prove it until today. But I want to ask separately from that. Why? Why are you protecting Yuki Maeda so much? Even though the accomplice has already admitted to being the culprit. Admitted he's the culprit. That's... because of his super high school level talent summoned her, basically. I'm not sure why, but, there's something strange about Maeda-kun being the culprit like this. Mikako might have some idea why. Maeda is the culprit. Tyra, are you sympathizing with him? That guy threatened me and made me an accomplice. Maeda-kun. It's like she's appealing. She appeals to Tyra. It's interesting. Doesn't try to shoot Tyra down crushingly. Maeda-kun, come to your senses and answer. You didn't do anything wrong, right? Oh, I done plenty wrong. Maeda Yuki, come to your senses. Come to your senses. Look into my eyes. You didn't do anything wrong. Tyra? Yes, look at me straight in the eye and tell me. You're not a criminal. Mannequin did nothing the day before the incident. By the way, Kurokawa. Not to the culprit, no! Just tell me that. The culprit? I threatened Kurokawa? Kisaragi? I killed? No, I didn't do anything. It's not me as weird as Kurokawa. I am not a criminal. Anakin. There's something strange about this. I swear, I didn't do anything. It's not me who's suspicious, it's Kurokawa. What's going on? If Tyra testified, I had no memory of installing anything on the 5th floor, nor do I have any memory of threatening Kurokawa. And it's true that I said before breakfast today that Kurokawa was going to the 5th floor. Or Kurokawa told me before breakfast that she was going to the 5th floor. Unless she was killed through some remote manipulation. First of all, it's impossible for Amanda to commit the crime at this point. Huh? That's right, Mannequin is not the culprit. On the contrary, Mikako-chan, who suddenly makes a scary face and gives strange testimony as if her personality has changed, is even more suspicious. Scary face thing is so meta. All this time I was thinking, one of them must be lying. But who could it be? Tyra? Thank you. Thanks to you, I've come to my senses. It's all thanks to you. And it's no big deal. There's no need to apologize like that. Ugly, Maeda. You want to kill us and go outside? Even if it means going to that extent? It's like, she can't say what she knows, so she has to, like, use that, like, motive. What? Because of my usual behavior, it would be nice if the other kids would take care of me and defend me. But I won't give in to your threats. Together with everyone, I'll find out the truth and execute you. What are you doing? Why are you doing this, Mikako-chan? Tyra? If what you said is true, it looks like Maya didn't do anything the day before. It was late at night when the bomb was planted on... At night when the bomb... Maeda planted the bomb on the floor. On the 5th floor. What? Maeda secretly planted the bomb in the middle of the night, the day before the incident, so that he could carry out the murder. This is a fact I heard directly from Maeda. From then on, I followed your reasoning. Follow your reasoning about the carrying out of the killing, and Maeda did the killing. Something like that. Kurokawa, for real? Or really? If that's true, then Maeda is the culprit. He was camped out on the 5th floor. I guess something like Tyra was on the 5th floor until late at night. In other words, if what Kurokawa said is true, Maeda planted the bomb or whatever. No, I follow the late night rule. You know that it's useless to talk about the late night rule, right? Why would you not violate this small rule in order to if you wanted to violate this big rule of murdering somebody? I'm totally not going to illegally buy this gun. Or I'm totally not going to steal this gun because it's illegal, but I will commit murder with it. We've discussed the late night rule in the class trial several times so far, but the unenforceable rule between us is a completely useless alibi. No, Maeda-kun. I desperately believe that Maeda-kun was not the culprit. I defended him to the limit. But if you come this far... Tyra? Even Tyra? Don't give up. I won't give up. But since your accomplice, something has betrayed you. No matter what you do, you can't escape. It's probably like Tyra. Tyra and I have betrayed you. Calmly admit to the crime. Wait. Kurokawa... Isn't that a bit strange? What? It's too aggressive. If what you say is true, you're probably the victim... a victim being threatened by the real culprit. The situation between you and Maeda right now is the opposite. You are putting pressure on Maeda to the point where you've called him a villain. That's how big my anger towards Maeda is. What that guy did to me. I'll tell you in detail after I execute him. Well, and it turns out... Who's going to be executed if there's a pension? Probably means who's going to be executed if you're wrong? What? Ray-chan, what are you talking about? It's interesting. We don't know who would have been executed. We presume they would just be whoever they voted for. Be like, yep, they did it, and you just execute whoever. Just like Junko did in Trigger Happy Havoc. After all, the personality of Monokuma is supposed to be a replica of Junko's, or at least be kind of close. The testimony that Mikako Kurokawa gave a while ago. It was impossible to plant the bomb during the day because of Tyra, but it was only done late at night? That's a lie. What? Kurokawa's the one lying? I just so happened to conveniently do the same thing that Kinjo did. I may feel a little sorry for you guys, but Maeda, Tyra, Otori. From the day I decided to enter into a cooperative relationship with you, I've been monitoring you, imitating Kinjo's idea. I should apologize to you guys for this. Kinjo's idea? I put a string every night across your doors. Check your alibi in the middle of the night. Just like what happened during Atano's class trial. It's just like, why would she do that specific thing conveniently? Because of the anti-protag power, right? Like, Yuki has this protag power that protects him from everything, and no matter what, he's eventually going to get away with everything crime he commits. But he's evil. It sucks so bad going back on it. By the way, Maeda-kun. Didn't Maeda-kun go to the 5th floor late at night? Yeah, that's a lie. Maeda's room was fine yesterday late at night. That guy didn't come out of his room late at night. Then what? Why are you lying and saying you're an accomplice? Well, maybe the prerequisite of being an accomplice was wrong. In other words, not an accomplice. They accused me. Accused me of being innocent, and tried to sneak away, basically. They could be the real culprit. Criminal. Kurokawa's the culprit? Damn, that's ridiculous. Otori, even when the trial started, you said that there was no one else but Kurokawa who could have done it. That's right. I was like that at first, but then I fell for Mikaru, and, Wait! Kurokawa, Mikako-chan. I am not the culprit. The culprit is Maeda! It's not funny. you staged you shouldn't have known. You testified that you moved in the middle of the night, even saying that you heard it directly from Maeda. You testified that he moved in the middle of the night, even saying that you heard it directly from Maeda. But the work I've done on the door proves that to be false. Maeda didn't do it. Maeda didn't do nothing. That's it. And I also knew that there was actually a thread attached. And he carefully put it back and reattached the thread. Okay, that's huge. I attached the thread at the exact position. 3.5 centimeters from the bottom or something. I knew it was attached at exactly the same location. That's right. He calculated the height exactly where the thread was attached and reattached it at that exact place. Exactly 3.5 centimeters. Oh, it's a lie. There was 3.5 centimeters, you idiot. What? They're trying to break this apart here. I should do a trap. It's a lie that I put it on at 3.5 centimeters, you idiot. So she made that up to try to catch her, okay? Of course you're lying, falling for such a simple trap. So she didn't put an exact place, like, oh no, I put this exact height. She's like, yeah, he knew exact height. It's like, no, actually I didn't. And you just fell for it. Well, that's... Kurokawa, why? And tell why you're framing me as the criminal. Loud, loud, loud. I'm not a criminal. Why did this happen? I can't die here. Mikako-chan? You... Is this the Mikako-chan I know? Or Mikako Kurokawa? No, I can't be the criminal. Please stop. Or like, I beg you, Kurokawa. I am not a criminal. I am not the culprit. I am not the culprit. I am not the culprit. These are all I am not the culprit. Culprit is Bobby. Whoops. It's Kisaragi's door password. Okay. That one's white. It's white. I guess this is the easiest rebuttal showdown ever. I guess it's supposed to display his ultimate talent or something. That's it. Is there a summary on this? There may not be, actually. Because it's... Yeah, he doesn't get to recap. Kurokawa, I'm sorry, but I have one more proof that you are the culprit. No, stop. It's the dying message. The word Mikako written in the laboratory. It's proof that you're the criminal. How? There was a message? If there was such a thing, you should have told us sooner. Felt bad for Maeda for no reason, right? Or felt that Maeda, whatever was bad. I couldn't tell you. From anyone's perspective, only Kurokawa could have committed the crime, but the reason we thought she was not the culprit is because there was so much evidence left behind. that situation, the dying message pointing Kurokawa actually adds to the idea that she's not the culprit. Yeah, but now things have changed. Maeda, who is thought to be the culprit, is in fact completely unable to commit the crime. Because Mikako Kurokawa started talking gibberish. In some ways, it may be bolder and smarter than other criminals. Because she left behind several pieces of evidence that could only be seen by anyone to be escape with the Dragon's Lead, which basically means, like, too obvious. She intentionally left behind stuff to make it look too obvious. Like, she wrote her own name. Is this an enhanced version of the last class trial where Iranami came out at the beginning of the trial? That's meta. Still, isn't it too far-fetched? Oh my god. You're the criminal, or you're leaving evidence out in the open? It's not speculation, it actually worked. I don't know what this stuff about dragons is, but she put out this evidence and waits for our reasoning to go to the point that she's an innocent victim. If you go there, you will act as an accomplice and become a victim. Except for the person designated as the culprit, they are prohibited from gambling, or whatever. Thanks to you, Maeda, who had done nothing wrong. Maeda, who said nothing wrong, was framed as the culprit. I'm sorry, Maeda. I don't need to apologize. But really, Kurokawa committed murder. I can't believe it. It's not true, dummy. Actually, I thought it was too difficult, so I went back in vain, but Mikako Kurokawa also has a good motivation. Motivation? Think about what Monokuma's motivation was this time. Monokuma introduced a transfer student named Kisaragi Yamato and said this was the motivation itself. And Kurokawa's reaction as soon as she saw the transfer student. I don't know what the woman's connection to Kisaragi Yamato is, but judging from her usual reaction, or unusual reaction, is assumed that she was caught up in Monokuma's motives somehow. How would I know? It's concerning, Mikako Kurokawa. I have a lot to ask you, so I have to give... You have to give me answers before you die, or something. Wait. I can't die. If I die. I don't want to die here. You can't die? What are you talking about? Don't worry. Just a criminal struggle. No. No. You can't do this, you guys. I am... What's wrong? Why is she like this? Not yet. There are still problems that can't be solved. What? If I am the culprit, how did I open my door? Moreover, you don't even know the exact location of the weapon. You don't all know that a simple bomb can't cause such a wound. Yeah, you're noisy. I don't know such trivial things, but it's already certain you're the culprit. No. It's upsetting, but true. Oh, she's upset, but it's true. Aside from everything else, leaving the private door wide open is... I can't die now. I can't die like this. If you can't solve the mystery, I can't admit I'm the criminal. I've come this far just to reason again? Let's sum up the case again. If we assume that Mikako Kurokawa is the culprit and look back at the incident, we might be able to discover something we missed. In order to come up with the complete answer, I'll put my brain to work and do my best. Kurokawa? Well then, for now that the troublesome alibi problem has been resolved, let's start with the most urgent, the weapon. Time's up. Time's up, time's up. What? Yeah. She tried so hard. And couldn't get him. So close. Good writing, but oof. It's literally, time is literally up. Seems like the discussion is not over yet, but unfortunately, it's the end of the class trial. Are you kidding me? Nothing like this has ever happened before. I'm not kidding. But anyway, it's time. Time's up. End the class trial. Ding, 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 ding. No. Wait, there's something wrong with this. This doesn't make sense. Only 140? Eh. It's only getting me like close to 2 characters' skills. Characters' skills. Well, anyway, time's up. So time's up. Whatever. It's your fault for dragging on for so long. Still, the results came out roughly. There's nothing you can do, so please vote with the switch in front of you based on what you have guessed so far. Oh, by the way, I empathize with you once again, but invalid votes must be collected immediately. As it is unacceptable. Understand? I don't know, something like you have to vote and you can't not vote. So who will be chosen as who will be tested as a result of the vote and will answer... It's who will be chosen as the blackened. Will you make the correct choice the dreadfully wrong? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? I like it. The voting has ended unanimously. The person you chose is... The correct answer, Mikako Kurokawa-chan. The blackened who killed Kisaragi-kun was Miss Kurokawa. The answer? The culprit who killed Kisaragi was Kurokawa? Of course, we came to that conclusion. But... what is this indescribable, uncomfortable feeling? No, it can't be like this. Something like this should never have happened. Okay, let's get right into punishment time. Well, wait a minute. Why are you in such a hurry? Please give us at least a little time to talk. No. Ooh. I have prepared a special punishment for Mikako Kurokawa, the super high school level exorcist. Wait a minute, like I said, there's too much. You're in too much of a hurry. Other times you didn't give you gave more time. Oh, I'm not sure if that's the case. As usual, since the culprit has been determined, I plan to execute them. I don't understand something. What is this timeout? Is it okay to send Kurokawa away like this? Kurokawa killed Kisaragi. This is probably true. Monokuma acknowledged it as the correct answer. But, something is strange. After the character Kisaragi Yamato appeared, something was clearly twisted. The murder case. The class trial as well. Monokuma as well. Kurokawa as well. Everything is twisted like a dull cogwheel. Just like this, in vain. If you send Kurokawa away without knowing anything... Wait a moment. Kurokawa Mikako! Come to your senses and answer. What is your identity? Tell us what you know. Ray-chan. At this moment, I don't care if you're a murderer or not. You clearly know something. You've been avoiding us, saying you can't tell us. I'm not satisfied. Are you satisfied with that, or whatever? Do you really think you would be satisfied, even if you die without being able to do anything? Or if you die without doing anything? You spoke in such a rapid-fire manner when you pushed my id away earlier. Try speaking like you did then. I hope you guys... Yeah, it's unclear why the answer to Ray's query there, like why she can't. Why she can't again. Yeah, basically, I hope you guys can do that too or something. I hope you can do that again or something. If this woman dies like this, we miss the chance to know the truth for the rest of our lives. Mikaru. Without knowing anything for the rest of our lives? Without even knowing why this had to happen? We're gonna stay here forever? I don't like that. Kurokawa, I'll also ask you if you know anything, please tell me. Mikako-chan. It's no use. Kurokawa can't say anything. What? She literally can't, so don't waste time and let's quickly take the punishment time or whatever. Wait. So it's something like it's like wait. Kurokawa Mikako. No. Kurokawa. I know that after we left the ballroom, everything got weird, including you. Even if Mikaru knows what she... Even if you know what you did, even if you committed the murder, even if there is a spy to the dark side, or you are a spy to the dark side, we were definitely there when Iranami gave you hope. So, if you believe in hope, please tell me. I'm asking you, please. And it turns out it doesn't really matter because Kinjo figures out enough stuff by blowing his brains out to make the ending happen. So even if Kurokawa can't make it give the answers, they still get it. It's like, something like, what is this person saying, I guess. No, it's useless to understand what you're saying. Nah. Which is I. Okay, this is probably an onomatopoeia. Crook! Mikako-chan. Even if it's impossible. It's impossible. Let's give up and take the punishment quickly. Ma. Talk. I want to. Kurokawa? Wait a minute. I wanted to tell you everything I know, but I couldn't do it. I want to tell you no matter what, but it's all too much. But now I'll go beyond life and death and deliver it to you. I'll fight no matter what happens. If I die without being able to convey anything, because I have no choice but to look at Yamato-kun. Kurokawa. Mana Kurokawa gonna say is really dangerous. So, is she gonna die? Our Kurokawa is really dangerous. Are you gonna die? They're still splitting it apart in Google Translate. Okay. That's really dangerous. And then you die? Something like that. Well, you're gonna execute her anyway. That's okay to be punished calmly. Details. Although I can't talk about it. I can't die here. Thanks to Maeda. Just a nuisance to everyone. What? Thanks to Maeda also. I don't know what these mean in this context. Take care, this is a trap of darkness. I trust you. It wasn't a long time, okay? You guys, because we were definitely friends. So, believe in yourself. So it's something to do with, like, you've known each other for a while and you're friends. But it's all broken up, so it's hard to translate, right? Believe in the hope you have for yourself. Hope never loses to despair. It was that moment. Instead of speaking slowly and quietly like usual, Kurokawa slightly changed her mind and stopped talking like she did when she was accused. It started talking, and did. She started talking like she did when she was accusing me of being a criminal. A popping sound is heard from her head, as if there is a reaction to a limit being released or something like that. And she just collapsed. Mikaru, this, as much as I have to tell you to do during is every incident darkness. So basically, the darkness is among us in this incident. That the Zephyr Bell was kind of had to happen there because I would have not been able to figure that out. Transferred like reading the Korean. Like these are actually basic Korean words, like, and it's just like that would have been completely lost. So thanks, Zephyr, for making that intelligible. Because that that like it's like we within the darkness, right? Is Mikako-chan? Piano music. This woman, Chukasa, dead. What? Kurokawa is dead? Of course, I knew that Kurokawa, the culprit who killed Kisaragi, would be executed for sure and would die soon. But before she was executed, the more she spoke, the more she collapsed and died. It's clearly strange to anyone who saw it. In the first place, this incident itself, the class trial itself is so strange. Besides, that's more important than that right now is, in the end it is true that Kurokawa died without telling us anything. Ah, what a stupid woman. She cut her own lifeline. There was a time when I really wondered what would happen, but in the end I ended up stopping at the precarious line. It would be a pity for you guys or something. Well, even if I tell the truth, if she told the truth, it wouldn't matter much. This woman, Kurokawa said that in the end the darkness was among us. This is as we expected. No, maybe I knew more than expected. Monokuma? What about Kurokawa? What is the Kisaragi Foundation? What on earth is the truth? There is no way Monokuma would tell you that. What is certain now is that, in the end, Kisaragi and Kurokawa may have held the key to the situation we found ourselves in. They died, and we didn't hear anything. Kurokawa's identity. The identity of the mastermind. The identity of the Kisaragi Foundation. Even the truth behind this murder case had not been properly revealed. We only end up facing an empty shell. Damn it. Piano music. Yes. I can't understand it at all. The only result is that the process disappears. After a brief disability, or a brief, break. Let's get it started now. My heart is pounding. Punishment time! And what? What are you talking about? It's punishment time! So what do you mean? Kurokawa's already dead. What does it matter, dead or alive? You disrupted the order, so you should be punished. Punishment is not just punishment, it's setting an example. You can't stop. You're going to even insult the dead? Punish the dead? No, this is the rule. You guys also saw Kurokawa-san's atrocities. A wicked woman who tried to survive by blaming the innocent and good Maeda-kun. Of course, I know that Kurokawa was the culprit and that she got away with it by saying harsh things, tried to get away with it by saying harsh things to me, but something is strange. Monokuma's words and actions in this class trial are clearly strange. Kurokawa said at the end that it was a dark trap. Like Maeda said, this incident is so strange. Or, trapped by the mastermind. Monokuma. To me, it looks like you are itching to kill Kurokawa. If you think about it, when Kisaragi was just introduced, Mikako-chan fell down bleeding, but Monokuma didn't show any concern at all. I guess this isn't all a conspiracy or something. No matter what, Miss Kurokawa killed Kisaragi-kun and became a Blackened. It's my job as the head of the academy to punish the Blackened. Therefore, Blackened disrupts order. We have prepared a special punishment for Super High School level Exorcist Kurokawa Mikako. Wait, Monokuma, don't change. Change your mind, something. Then, let's give it everything we've got! Well, she's already dead in a corpse state, so it's not strong at all. Monokuma, answer the question. Anyway, let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time! Monokuma! And this execution scene makes this big deal at the end about, like, the timer not actually running out. We never seen the bomb actually go off. Which, like, you'd think, like, why would they do that? Why would that be part of this execution, to be so dramatic about it when that didn't matter for anything? And it doesn't matter for anything. It's like... It made me think that maybe, like, somehow Mikako would miraculously be alive. But I can spoil it for you since it's already played to the end of this game. No, she's not alive. Like, she's put in a box with her body. That says Monokuma in katakana. Which is weird because Monokuma is like native Japanese, but at least Kuma is. Yeah, the Kuma would be, you could write in hiragana because that's just the word for bear. Also, yeah, why would they make it so long and boring? Like, there's like this like buildup of anticipation. There's this rising action to this, and it resolves in the countdown not actually making it all the way to 0, and it means nothing. Like, there's no meaning to that. And there's no meaning to that at all. It's just there to give you false hope. What? Blackout? Wow, I can't see anything. What happened to Mikako-chan? Doesn't matter, she's dead! What happened to Monokuma? Don't pretend you didn't hear. Chukdinda! He's like, die! Mikaru? What is this guy? It stopped. What? Now I think about it, something like this didn't happen during... Didn't something like this happen during class trial not long ago? Mikako-chan said the Monokuma stopped operating, all facilities would stop. If Mikako... Something like that. But there wasn't a black power outage back then. What happened? As expected, there was something strange about this incident. I don't think this is normal, even with the power outage. What on earth is happening? The appearance of Kisaragi. Kurokawa's murder. Blackout. Monokuma stopping. I don't know what's going on, but it's definitely strange. Everything seems like an incoherent contradiction. By the way, the blackout is completely unrelated, by the way. It's like, yes, that's strangeness. No, actually it doesn't, in hindsight. It's just a convenient blackout. Monokuma can't wake up easily. What should we do? Yura. And you came too late. Gasp, gasp. I just arrived. Am I too late? Yes, you are. Kinjo, how did you... What is it? How can you move? Kinjo-kun. Let's talk about the details later. Can't afford to do that right now. Maeda, Mikaru, Otori. Is it... That's what it means. Is this what it means to put on such an ugly suicide show and then just wake up? Don't you have anything else to say? Mikaru, Kisaragi, and Kurokawa. What? All of a sudden... Wait a minute. Kisaragi's portrait photo. Is it? They're both dead? Kinjo, what happened? How did you wake up and what is the situation? I just told you. No more details later. But to say it very simply, I remember everything. I'm here to save you. Remember? What? No way. Shamelessly alive and well. It seems like it's not too late to turn back yet. I will protect you guys from the vicious mastermind or darkness or whatever. What are you doing? Let go of me. Oh. You guys are being deceived. You need to get away from that guy right now. Or that person. Eh? Kinjo? What about this person? What tangled mess? That person imprisoned all 15 of us. Make us trapped here. Criminal who created the murder game. The mastermind of everything. Taira Akane. What are you talking about, Kinjo-kun? Don't call my name with that dirty mouth. Yak. Taira. The mastermind of everything? Wait a minute, Kinjo. You're misunderstanding something. Maeda is right. There's no way Taira is the mastermind. Did something go wrong after being shot in the head? No. It's not me that's getting weird, it's you. It's no wonder I did something like that. But whatever the reason, I will definitely protect you from a heinous criminal. Kinjo-kun, why are you doing this? I mean, you could reprimand me for stabbing Kizune-chan, but I have nothing to say, or something like, why this? No matter how bad it is, I'm not the mastermind. Taira? Ayo Centipede. Let me try to break this apart. Okay. So, that's a lot of cuteness compared to what you did. Kinjo? What on earth are you saying? I have no idea what Kinjo-kun said earlier. Why? Why this much? Are you gonna keep backing away or something? Or like, what do you like? But can you still do that even after hearing this? Super high school level despair. That's right. Super high school level despair? Tyra? Ah! I'm not gonna scream like I did last time. The cogs are turning. It was in howl like an animal. She, who had been embarrassed and denying Kinjo just a moment ago, suddenly screamed like something out of this world and started grabbing her head. Her screams are getting louder. More and more. Eventually the screams despair changed. Or changed in despair or something. Refreshing? What does that mean? I feel like something was blocked and has been opened. There's no problem with my memory either. Just as he said. I think it was very successful. Must have been truly a hellish day to breathe without thinking of Akane Taira. A problem. Taira Akane. I don't get it, but whatever. I don't quite get what's going on there. No. Who is this? Well, who is it? Akane, Taira Akane. Chung. Is it really the first time with you now? In that case, I should give you a formal greeting. Super high school level made. No. My mistake. Super high school level despair. Taira Akane. Please take care of me, Maeda Kinjo Mikaru Editori. Oh, wait a minute. Am I the only one who can't keep up with the current situation? Taira Akane. Taira. Mastermind. As I said, was yesterday, but I only know that they were working together for a short time this morning. Mayakun is a good person. Maeda-kun. I don't want to hear those words from Maeda-kun. Actually, I want to apologize sooner, but I'm sorry. The reason I asked to dance was because I thought we could talk like this, just the two of us. I'm really sorry. Maeda, Yuki Maeda, come to your senses. Come to your senses, look into my eyes. You didn't do anything wrong. That Taira is the mastermind of everything? If you just meet the right person, you could potentially just become the worst. Looks like the power has come back. Is the backup power turned on? I'm dying. Where I died. Monaco was suddenly thrown down the Toad House because I don't like the facilities here. That's not what that means, but I'll leave it. Thrown down the Toad House. Monokuma? Monokuma. It's been a long time. Eh? Monokuma-nim? A long time. What are you talking about? Eh. Tyron. No way. I'm back! Thanks to Akane Taira, you've been through a lot. What is the situation? This is not a dream? It's not a dream. On the topic of the mastermind, Monokuma is moving separately. Revealed your true colors. This time will protect everyone. Kinjo-nim. Now it's probably not the time to say that. When Akane Taira wakes up, life in this murder class is meaningless anymore. But the murder class life is meaningless. I see Monokuma-sama dispose of you as a piece of cake. Disposal? I'd like to say, but that wouldn't be much fun. Besides, I still have a promise with him left. So, I'll give you a chance to stand on the final stage. This is truly a wonderful stage to decorate the finale. Ha 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 ha. In an incomprehensible situation right in front of you that unfolds at the speed of light. I just stood there blankly. Taira. Looking at the person who was Taira Akane. That's the only way to go. There was no way to go. Right? Save the data. Yes. And there you go. There's the low point. We'll do chapter 0 and chapter 6, I guess, next recording. I have to keep a certain bedtime, so I'm gonna... Yeah. Do that when it's time. But I'll end this one here with that chapter 5 trial finished off.